Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Brian and I'm joined as always by Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
Brian, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing well too. Fantastic episode. Straight out the gate. It lived up to the hype, I felt.
Yeah,
We even got an interesting flashback here, which,
yeah.
I didn't expect until last week. I saw someone shared some screenshots from this episode
Okay.
in this, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're gonna do a screenshot. And I was thinking that it was probably gonna be when Dunk gets knocked off his horse, and we'll do a flashback. And yep, that's what happened. So, I guess we can start at the beginning of the Tourney of the Seven. So they cut out one part of the novella that I really liked when Baylor is like, "Hey, we're gonna use tourney lances because they're longer, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
might give us an advantage in this." They cut that out. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but do you have any thoughts on that?
No, that is a good point. It is cool in the sense of it, uh, kind of shows how Baylor's a bit of a tactician. He will take risks, right? But I think, right, it's attorney lances, so they can't really injure
Yeah,
anyone.
they
So
don't
it's
have
all,
a point. They're just hoping to knock the people off their horses
yeah,
before
so
they
it's
get
kind of
their
like a
shit
thing.
rocked.
Yeah, we know it's like Baylor. I think something that separates him from some of the other Targaryens is I don't necessarily think he's not a pacifist by any means, obviously, but like how some of the Targaryens, like Baelor the Blessed and stuff, are given a hard time for being. It's either being too like crazy or too meek, right? And like
Mm,
he's definitely neither. He'll come up with like these like clever ideas. He's a great fighter, but at the same time, he's going to spare lives wherever it's possible. He's not going to play dirty wherever possible. It kind of speaks to
unlike
his
his brother.
character. Yeah, well, Makar or Maker.
Just killing the horse. That didn't need to do that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like father, like son. Yes,
No,
but
for
yeah, Baylor comes in and he's like, "Listen, I'll fight the King's Guard. Nobody worry about it." Two people got murked by the King's Guard immediately, so I don't know what he was talking about here.
oh yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, yeah, Maker kind of reminds me. Did you ever watch that show Bloodline?
No,
Because
but go on.
he just kind of there's a brother in it. He's just like kind of chubby, angry. He's like always kind of like drinking Bud Lights. I feel like, and he's just like always. He's like kind of aggressive, but you not necessarily. He's right. I wouldn't say he's a horrible guy. I've never felt like Maker is like he's not like a bad Targaryen to me. He's just a he's more of a flawed Targaryen, right? He's a guy who probably doesn't always have the best handle on his emotions, but by no means is he. I don't think like Aryan takes after him. like in
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we lose Sir Humphrey Harding and Sir was it Harding Beesbury right off the bat. We learned that he died, but we kind of see it from Dunk's POV. Um, and then there's a cool moment. Is in the novella as well where Dunk like doesn't start going at first. And we kind of get a little payoff of that scene with Egg training with Thunder, where he kind of gets Thunder going, which gets Dunk into it. Um, but right away, Dunk just gets immediately stabbed. It's just like, God damn. All right. Maybe this is a losing cause. He goes down, he gets knocked out, and then we have a flashback. What did you think of the flashback sequence?
So obviously the flashback that is completely new canon.
Yep.
There's never been any indication. I don't know if they specified that all of his friends in Flea Bottom were boys, but they
I got
sounded
the impression reading it that
they were boys' names. Yeah, but there
Yeah.
could be one in there that could maybe what. But anyways, I'd have to see if the name match up. I have no idea. I thought it worked well enough. I think a big reason they did it, thinking back on it, was to really solidify the bond between him and Arlen and like kind of why he's doing everything he is as like a hedge knight. And right, Obviously, that's a pretty big focus. The fact that he's a hedge knight, so I think that's really right. Like they both like suffered a great deal of loss, and in that they found each other and honor, and that's all he has left is protecting the innocent. You know, much like himself. Even though I guess you could argue maybe he wasn't entirely innocent, but I mean, in that situation where he gets attacked by the guards,
He's an orphan.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally an orphan getting beat up after his girlfriend got killed. I mean, it's fucked up.
So fucked. And I thought, it was a nice touch having her look like Tanzel, at least
that was
similar. Kind of gives a little bit more motivation for why Dunk did what he did.
Good point. I honestly, again, that was new. I just watched it last night.
Yeah.
I definitely was like, man, he's definitely got obviously he's got a type.
Yeah,
for sure. But that was kind of all I had thought about it, but I didn't even think about, that piece, that would almost like trigger it. And honestly, that kind of brings us to Arlen saving him. He's triggered there, just like Arlen was triggered to save Dunk's life. So,
Dunk, we were talking about it before the episode, right?
Yep.
What his motivation might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to say it? Or?
Oh, well, yeah, you had astutely pointed out that Arlen's nephew, obviously, we know that his nephew was killed in the Blackfire Rebellion. He's at that tavern, he's hammered. I was like, man, so they're just making Sir Arlen a drunk. I just thought it was interesting because there's the books very much indicate him as kind of just like a pretty boring old knight,
Yeah.
Kind of like a goofy old Borg type, like you think about like your old like history teacher who always like is falling asleep in class, but like would never do anything bad intention. That's kind of that was kind of the sort of impression I would have gotten. However, they paint a slightly different picture earlier in the season. So that's kind of just what I thought. But you had a very good point where it's like when he gets out of the tavern, he's obviously hammered. He's like the Blackfire Rebellion has just ended at this point, right? Like we saw them robbing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw like a battle. I don't know what battle would have been that close to King's Landing, but a battle happened.
He might have been in that battle.
Yeah, they might put it as that. I know in the books he died on the red grass field, which is obviously
I was going to say that. Well, I knew that the red grass field was where. Isn't that where? If we jump, there's another character who has sons. That's where his sons died as well, right? I thought. Maybe,
that was like the big climactic battle, basically.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there were battles after, and because I didn't know about the nephew. But anyways, he's trying to drink off this traumatic event, and all of a sudden, he sees a scene that triggers that, and he just acts and kills these guys. Very similar.
Badass.
Oh, it was pretty badass. Yeah, I was actually like, Sir Arlen looks pretty fucking cool here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it shows like, he was a knight, like for real. He cut that dude's head off. That was sweet. But you know what he also did? He fought dirty when he got that meat hook and stabbed it, and then used that to, turn it in his advantage. And then we see Dunk taking that lesson, and using it in this.
Well, that's what's interesting about all of it. And I guess what threw me off, it's kind of like, because again, I thought of the Hedge Knights very much as like a lot of them try to like have like pomper and like kind of be very knightly and chivalrous, as where like, like this part, like we kind of see a side of Arlen in this that is more like a brawn type.
Yep.
Like a rogue brawler, gun for hire, basically, which I just had never thought of him as that, but it's interesting,
Yeah, Brown would have loved this. He would have loved Sir Arlen doing this. But
he would have loved whichever side would
give
him more money, or whichever way he could loot what they have more easily. Let's be real.
That's true. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. And then Dunk has nothing except this man who saved his life, and he's
Mhm.
following him. We get some great scenes of Sir Arlen drinking his sorrows away. I don't know if you had closed captions on. I did. It says he's singing Dothraki, which is super
Oh,
interesting.
well, I was
Um,
like, it's interesting because I was like, not the closest thing you could think it like reminded you of was maybe like what someone would think like maybe some like Native American like
right, yeah.
tribal rituals because he was like he's moving around and like the fire's like it's kind of a I don't really know what he's doing there. It's like supposed to be yeah, who knows? But I guess
He's just working through it, you know.
it makes sense. It's yeah, it kind of makes sense, Dothraki, and it kind of adds to his wild card rogue.
Yeah, it really does. It's like, where did he pick this up? Like, what's
He,
that story? I
he
love
must have
that.
fought with some. Just I mean, Dothraki won't go on water, so he must have.
Yeah, he went over to Essos and the Dothraki Sea and fought over there. So super interesting. I saw a very funny tweet. Someone was like, "Y'all mind if a white boy sing a little Dothraki?"
Yeah, you kind of
Crack
get the
me
vibe
up.
that definitely he's like maybe he's like dropping some peyote with that whiskey and like just
Yeah, he's having a good time.
he's getting tribal, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it ends in this scene where he notices Dunk, who's very sick from getting stabbed in the leg, passes out, and he comes over and he says, "Get up." And that signals Dunk to get up
Mhm.
in the present, which I thought was really well done.
Oh, I thought it was
You know,
really good, yeah, and it kind of just showed like Arlen, I imagine Arlen kind of knew he was following him and just didn't really do anything about it.
yeah,
That was my vibe, but then just how he does, he's not even surprised or anything. He just says like, and it's like kind of harsh, but it's like, hey, get up, like let's
yeah,
go. Right? It kind of shows like the kind of tough love you would probably get as a hedge knight and squat. That it's the beginning of that type of relationship, right? Where he's
mhm,
not going to dote on him or anything like that, but he's gonna, he's gonna give him enough.
yeah. But yeah, this trial was brutal for Dunk. We talked about it before we started recording, but the novella, the fight is not as brutal for Dunk. He's getting fucked up at the beginning of
Yeah,
this.
he definitely. I definitely remember he takes a lot of blows, but it's not quite like that. And I will say Arian definitely holds his own way more
Yes.
on the ground, especially. Right, Arian looks like a pretty competent fighter here. I would say.
Mhm.
Eventually, it almost seemed like Dunk just got kind of lucky to. I don't think this one emphasized his strength as much. I think the other fighting scenes in this season did enough of that.
Mhm.
We did see Dunk kind of almost lose his cool where you're like, hey, honestly, I kind of think the amount of blows he gave him at the end, a dude that big,
I know,
and
right?
adrenaline, he might have killed him. But
Yeah. Well, one thing I did like in this, obviously it shows when he's slamming him with the shield, his strength, but the one part where they're kind of engaged and Dunk literally just palms him in the face and knocks him down, which I thought was a great display of Dunk's strength.
yeah, for sure. I just thought overall it was just like different. And that they made the fight more a little more dramatic, which as they
Oh
should.
yeah. Yeah, there's a certain point where like if you're watching, you're like, oh shit, this guy's gonna
I,
lose,
I think
like
even
for sure.
I was like, no, he's still good. I think I actually like stood up at one point. I was like probably getting a snack or something, but I also like kind of froze for a second. Was like to myself, like almost like, is he gonna wait? Is he gonna like lose his fight in this?
Yeah, right.
It really kind of. I mean, they did do a good job of it. Yeah.
Mhm. And he almost does lose. It
Mhm.
seems like he at least passes out for a moment.
With his eyes open and
Yeah.
like he's fucked up. Like I don't know something.
But Egg is able to get him to go up, which is very, fun scene. Also yells at the guy who's calling the fight, being like, he's not down. He's still alive, which is very fun.
Yeah, I was gonna
Uh
say they have the egg like yelling "sir, sir" over and over again. It was like
yeah.
very like melodramatic, drawn out, and
And then like Dunk does cut Arian on the thigh, and like for a second I was like, oh my god, how's he gonna survive that? Because there's like an artery there, you know. But with that happening, we get like I thought a great scene from Makor being like, my boy, like
It's like,
genuinely worried.
yeah, it was like the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But we got Lino Baratheon and Baylor holding him back, and then he kind of takes them on 2-on-1. Also, big shout out to Raymond Fossaway for hitting Arian off of Dunk at one point when things were looking pretty grim. Just like the realest dude in the Seven Kingdoms.
yeah, I don't even know if I think I was saying like I don't even know if he's a bro that like Dunk deserves. And like Dunk's pretty awesome, obviously. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, Raymond is for sure a real one. That is a ride or die.
Yep, like so much so. Like he really came in clutch for Dunk here. And,
yeah, I mean, he's definitely like the type of dude just goes above and beyond and goes like, "Hey, I'll kill them." Like, no, I mean, yeah, I don't know why you do that. Like,
no. But yeah, Arian sees Dunk get back up, and he like very reluctantly puts his helm on. And he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like here we go, and then we get, Dunk just fighting dirty, using his brute strength and just destroying Arian with the shield. And one of the things that people have pointed out online, when he yields and when Dunk is dragging him over, you can see in the background Makor, Baylor, and Lionel fighting. And in that skirmish, you see like the mace hit Baylor in the back of the head.
oh,
so
cool.
It's like the fight is over, but not like over. So it makes it even like more tragic that probably is the blow that gets him,
I forget. I'd have to go back to the books. It would kind of make sense to me that it would happen even after it's all settled.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, it's such an insane situation.
Well, and we know, right? It's supposed to be a very tragic thing where it's like, yeah, this amazing like king to be is doing this incredible thing, sticking up for Duncan, and Duncan's blown away. All he wants to do is serve this man for the rest of his life. Yeah. And now because of he decided to pick a fight with a prince, you could argue that Baylor is dead because of that. But I think I was gonna say with Arian, I think when Arian put the helm on, I assume Arian's plan is just like, well, yeah, I'm a fucking knight, and he's not, and he gets a confidence. He's like, I'm just gonna take this guy out real quick, and he's gonna be intimidated by my ability to fight. I kind of had always said that I think a trial of 7 was really stupid in the sense of like, I would think you would just want like a one-on-one joust because that's like the least chances of getting on the ground. You just got the shit beaten out of you by him. You've seen this dude. Like, why do you want like a more chaotic battle setting where this guy's going to have a chance to just like come at you with his fists?
Yeah, it does remind me a little bit of Oberyn versus the Mountain, where it's like, yeah. Oberyn could have won, but the 1 second he fucked up was just all it took for
this was a little more like that one is very clearly like that was just Oberyn's hubris, like his hubris, like, and it just had for years he had been building, understandably so.
Yeah.
Right. This one is it was a little more like, and how do I say? I feel like that one you almost more got the sense like with Gregor, it's just like, man, this guy's a freak. Of course, he's still like breathing and can just do that and say that. And like, right, we know that Dunk obviously is like a very impressive like specimen himself, but like I got the vibe it was more just like his sheer like with that it's just like sheer will and like lack of he's not giving up.
Yeah. And so we get the end of the trial. The Pate and Raymond get Dunk back in there. They're like, oh, we should boil oil on him to help him.
Yeah, I remember this. I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound great. Like, I'm just gonna pour a bunch of hot oil. Like,
yeah. Luckily, Baylor's comes in and he's like, yeah, put wine on him. I'll have my maester take a look at him. And then like he pretty quickly starts, getting woozy.
Yeah.
And they take his helm off, and he has a nice line where he's like, the helm's stuck on the plate, like they're hit together, and he's like, "Oh, my brother, most like he's very strong," and he almost says it in like a loving way.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And then they take the helmet off, and his head's smashed in.
Yeah, the way he said very strong, you can kind of see him going out, but it's almost like he was going to say, yeah, he's like not very bright, all right, but very strong.
Yeah. And but before that happens, we have a pretty great scene where Dunk swears fealty to him, and he like accepts him. He's like, "Yeah, I need
If,
knights like you. The
well, if
realm
not
needs."
directly, I don't think he says I do. He says the realm need. Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe he says I need, and then he says the realm.
yeah,
Um,
which is great. I mean, it's really touching.
oh,
And I
for
remember
sure.
reading that and being like, "Fuck yeah, like this is
He's
awesome."
yeah,
Then
he's gonna
the
be. He's
shoe
gonna work for
drops.
him. Yeah, yeah, and I will say the way they showed the back of his head afterwards when it's like they did pretty good build up where they kind of know what's going on and then it shows it and you're just like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, so bad.
yeah.
And yeah, Baylor dies. It's not
Intense.
great.
No.
Died for a hedge knight. And so did the other two also.
Mhm.
Don't want to forget them. Beesbury, amazing mustache. Very sad that he had to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, what do you think? Overall thoughts on the episode, the adaptation?
I mean, I've just like I said, this show can't really do too much wrong for me. I thought it was all very good. Like I said, the fight went a little differently than I thought, but I guess too it like built more suspense. It almost like reinvented it for readers as well. So I thought it was a good episode overall. I think it's a really good show. I personally can't really think of too much criticism. I mean, I kind of thought when they went back to King's Landing, but why can't I think of
Flea Bottom?
Flea Bottom? Yeah. I thought maybe they would like kind of show a little more Dunk's like days when he was just like a fucking menace and beating the shit out of people.
Right. Yeah.
It would have been kind of interesting, and we almost saw it for a sec. I was like, man, is he just going to go like ham on this guy? But he more just like bites him. But, it's fine. It's fine. And maybe this kind of paints him more as the straight hero type,
Mm-hmm.
Who I'm sure people want to see.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I loved it. This has been a great adaptation. I mean, we kind of knew it would be. Like the source material was so good. Like it would be hard to mess this up, but love the show. Excited for next week's episode. And allegedly they're filming season 2 right now, and we're gonna get it next year, which is great.
Really? That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, they're short episodes because it does suck. It was like so quick, but I mean, I had no complaints. It's been really good. Like, I think sometimes it shows you're like, oh, I just want more. Come on. And it's like this, it's like, what else could you really ask for? I think it's about exactly what you could want.
No, agreed. Well, anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, other than that, check out all of our shows here on Better Radio. The Traders coming to an end soon. It's been a great season. So check out our podcast, Meet You at Breakfast. Then we have The Blindsiders, where we cover Survivor season 50 coming up just one more week, Ryan. Can you believe it? Season 50 of Survivor. We're there. So yeah, check that out. And check out the main channel, Wicked Everything, our spin-off channels, Those Fake Nerds, and Wicked Good Sports. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.